Hello and welcome everybody to This Raw Life, a small little hobby podcast that explores the different unique stories of what's going on in life outside of our own heads. Today's episode, we're interviewing two boxers from Ottawa, Ontario, who are set to compete in the Clash of Cartier boxing tournament in March this year. Whether listening in case you yourself are a small-time boxer aiming for the big fight, a podcaster peeping other hobby podcasters, or just listening through a busy day at work. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope that you can take away as much as I did from this interview. Enjoy!
I'm your host, Nathan, and today we're joined by my co-host and fellow national team soccer athlete, Uncle Ivan, but he prefers Cousin Ivan. Today we are joined by Mr. Alex Farley and Mr. Ben Mamini. Did I pronounce that right? Amini? Sorry.
Yep, that's correct. Good job.
Two fellows boxers from Uncle Ivan's squad out there in Ottawa, Ontario. Thank you very much for tuning in today, gentlemen. Pleasure to meet you, Uncle Ivan, since you carried out plenty of the footwork arranged this episode. How about you start us off?
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for joining us, gentlemen. So I'm Cousin Ive. Most people know me that got a big family, so. But Alex and Ben, we'll start off with Alex. So first and foremost, how do you guys feel about participating in Clash of Cartier 2?
I'm pretty excited. It's a good opportunity, not only for the guys to learn boxing, but also recruiting purposes, get more people interested in the GGFG and the Camerons, get more people in the drill hall and stuff to parade and go on exercise. It's a good opportunity to make their regiment known to the outside world
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. It's going to be a fun event. Always love doing things with the boys, no matter what it is. And just another opportunity to exercise the Camerons Guards rivalry, like we've always had, is going to be something really fun. Last year it was great, It's something as well, you can bring in people from outside the Army. It's one of those opportunities to bring in outside people, which is great, especially in the context of a combat sport where you can actually show some of that physicality and some of that aggression that everyone assumes we have. This time we can actually put it on display. So, yeah, definitely super exciting.
You fellows are both our military brethren, I assume, as well?
Oh, yeah.
Sir.
Reservist?
Yeah, officer and NCO.
Nice, fellas. All right,
Yeah.
Pleasure. I'm Martech out in Squimalt right now. Posted out in Squimalt, so I'm a Navy lad, so a little bit different, but...
Where are you posted again, Nathan?
Squimalt.
Okay.
How long have you guys been training now? Part of the Athlete Combat Academy?
Yeah, so that's our coach Mike Ireland's page, and then so he's our main coach, and then we coach at Beaver Boxing, which is one of the oldest and most recognized boxing gyms here in Ottawa. So it was nice for them to help us out, right? With your full-time job and or school, how do you balance your physical and mental preparation?
Well, on the physical side, I like to get up and start the physical side bright and early in the day. So I'll get up, and if I don't have class in the morning, I'll head down to the gym. So I'll get good workout in, then head down to class. And for mental, I feel, it's a balance between talking to the right people and surrounding yourself with people that help motivate you and keep you in the right mindset and give you positive energy and positive feedback for you to keep moving forward.
Ben?
Right on. Physically, I think it's just, for me, all about staying consistent throughout the semester. I'm still a university student, so got a lot of readings to do daily, a lot of bullshit. But just keeping it consistent, doing things I like to do rather than forcing myself to really follow a super regimented program, I think has been really useful for me. I could see if I was an athlete full time, I think following a very specific program would be beneficial. I think theoretically it would make me perform better, but because I have all these other things that I'm juggling, I find just as long as I'm doing something every day and I'm not totally fucking off my cardio, which I know a lot of guys like to do, myself included sometimes. Doing that every day is just the big thing. As far as mental goes, I think I'm still kind of figuring that out, to be honest. I don't really foresee any issues going into training or sparring. I think more visualization for the day of the fight is the big one.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's
That's
watching
awesome.
you. You have your brethren all together watching you. So it's going to be a lot of pressure, just like for any kind of combat sports event. And, yeah, I'll just deal with it the best I can.
Do you find that if you didn't play sports, your commitments to other, like, you know, schooling, to family, whatnot, would not be as healthy? Or do you think that it'd change your lifestyle a lot if you did not play or compete in your training programs? Alex?
No, I 100% agree with that. Like, you have to find the balance between, like, physical capabilities and intellectual capabilities. Like, even during my exam sessions where, like, I don't have a lot of time to, like, do workouts and stuff, I find it's, like, more difficult for me to keep my focus during my studies because I have, like, so much build-up energy that I didn't waste physically. So when I try to, like, study and focus, I can't maximize that focus because I didn't, like, spend the energy physically. If that makes sense there.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. Yeah. I think maintaining the balance of all of it and not letting, I think life is a big juggling act in general. So just being able to balance everything, and not totally like blow the physical side of things off, even if it's sport or just fitness. It's going to change your perception of yourself, your confidence, you know, like it's going to change the chemistry of your body and everything and your circadian rhythm. So yeah, definitely there's definitely like a baseline level, that needs to be maintained, so that you don't start declining in other related areas. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
What's driving you to succeed in this particular event?
What do you mean?
What
Like,
would you say is your driving force?
define success, like winning the fight, or just like developing myself as like a boxer, or developing myself in relationship.
Both overall, like how is this making you a better person in general?
Well, as a better person, I feel. Can I say it in French?
Sure, I guess I'm sure we'll have some
Okay,
viewers that understand
I'll try and
French.
translate it there for the pod there, but like as a better person, I feel like the boxing practice and stuff, they give me the opportunities to like learn about others, how they think, like, and also respect for the guys at the regiment. Like, I get to see like the warrior spirits of guys and stuff, so I really appreciate that side of like, because you go on exercise or like you do courses together, it's fun, but like when you get in the ring and like you see people fight, like you see their warrior spirit and like how they how they deal with stress and how they deal with opponents and how they deal with like adversity. And I find it's important to like surround yourself with like people that are capable of overcoming adversity and like have that dog in them, like to never give up.
I love it. That's perfect. Ben?
Right on. Sorry, what was the question? I kind of forgot. The big why,
what would you say is your driving force to succeed in this particular event?
Yes. Yeah, for me it's definitely the boys or the regiment. Sorry, I don't want to be
the brotherhood or
gender
camaraderie.
Specific. Yeah, the camaraderie.
Yeah.
All of it. I love it. It's another opportunity for us to express that in a unique way. It's a hard sport. Boxing was never my first option for a combat sport growing up, like to practice. But nonetheless, it's a great sport and it's fucking hard. So it's another thing that we get to go through together. And it's a great outlet for us to compete against the cameras and get that competitive energy to, really, hone in that excellence. Because, when we train in the Army, it's not like we can really shoot at each other. The competitions, like who's the better, it's a bit arbitrary. But in boxing, now we actually kind of have somewhat of a concrete competition that we can go off of and say like, yeah, we're better.
Bragging rights. Love it.
Yeah.
So when I notice that I'm like my body's going through a stressful time, like I'm in a really tough competition or something, there's always like an experience that I'll fall back onto, right? And it's sort of like it sort of like brings up your confidence. You're like, okay, I've gone past this part in my life. Like I've faced this adversity and won. Is there an adversity that you can think of when you're in the ring and you're really in that zone and it's just you and him and you're just, working your magic? Is there an experience that you'll fall back on and you'll be like, that'll like really help you push into the next round or just keep going or, dig a little bit deeper sort of thing?
But like that's the beauty of boxing and like I never actually went into real fight like just for sparring, but like when I spar, like all my attention is like in the moment, so I don't really think about like other things from the past or like what's gonna go on in a couple hours. Like I only concentrate on like how can I win every second or like how can I use this time to my advantage or like I really think I'm stuck in the moment and like taking in all of the little infos and like all the little tells of my opponents so I can use that to my advantage. Like I don't really think about like past events to give me confidence.
Yeah, I had the same kind of experience, at least in the moment, I'm just trying to breathe. But I think all the experiences together, I honestly think help, like all the camaraderie, all the courses I've done and all the shit I've done that's hard with all my brethren, as you'd say, they kind of amalgamate into that moment, right? So even though I may just be trying to survive, it's really what it means to me in the moment that matters, and what it means to me is going to be based on the experiences I have with the people that I went through it with. So
that's awesome. Now, just sort of staying on this topic a little bit, Alex, any strategic adjustments you're planning for this fight?
Like I'm southpaw, so I talked to Coach Steph yesterday. Mostly like keeping the guy busy with my jab hand and like while I'm keeping the guy busy trying to win that outside foot so I can land the two on the chest there.
That's great. That's great. Excellent advice. Yourself, Ben?
For me, it's going to be all about breathing and not, losing my cadence and losing my, my integrity out there. I'm not a super tall guy. I'm sitting at about 180, 182 right now. So if I'm doing, 3 rounds, at the end of the third round, if I get rocked a couple times, I'd probably be worried about, getting sloppy. So for me, it's going to be about doing cardio, really like doing a lot of shadow boxing, a lot of skipping, stuff like that.
Roger. How about you, Uncle Ivan? How about you? You got a strategy? You got a strategy in your back pocket?
I'm southpaw as well, like Alex. My cardio has been my main thing. Cause in amateur boxing, in my opinion, most amateurs slack in cardio. So I want to put on a little show, be a little entertaining, if I can. So that's why I'm skipping as much as I can, so that's my main goal. What, Alex, just going back to you, what are any major lessons you've learned from your past sparring sessions? Like for myself, I hate getting hit in the body. Get hit, doesn't matter how much I'm going to skip. I get that one body shot and I can't breathe. So I'm like, gotta protect the body.
No, I remember my first spar. Got hit with a couple body shots. Like, you don't really feel them while you're fighting, but as soon as you go back to the corner and you just focus on breathing, you're like, God damn, was it so hard to breathe right now? But yeah, I've learned some good lessons. Just let's say it's important to protect yourself. Like the best offense is defense. So for sure, when I'm training in shadow boxing, I always emphasize on defense and always visualizing how the little tells of my opponents. Let's say I'll use Hippo as an example, but when I spar Hippo, his jab, he always comes back and then throws his jab. So always learning little tells and visualizing those tells while you're shadow boxing and stuff.
Very smart.
So
Ben, any major lessons you've learned from your past sparring sessions?
Major lessons for me, I think, just keeping active and responding. I find sometimes I get hit and I just kind of get spaced out, don't know what to do. So just like loading screen. But so I just need to
we've all had those moments like
yeah. I'm like, it feels bad, it feels like a little loss. But yeah, just getting over it, having that instinctive combo, make space or close the distance, whatever it is. Just responding has been big for me. Yeah, I haven't sparred too much. I have a surgery coming up I have to wear braces for, and I had to get a specialized mouth guard that only came in the mail. Like, it got delayed like 5 times, so I've only gotten like 4 rounds of sparring, and
we got to get you in more, man.
Yeah, we will. Be a good time.
Is there an advantage you feel like you have going into this tournament?
I have some other
in your back pocket.
Well, the thing is, I think winning the tournament is going to be based on the amount of points you score, so the amount of touches you get. I don't think I'm that much technically better than most other people of like my boxing experience. I may be a little bit better at managing the distance than, like quite a few other combat sports, and managing the different distance is something that kind of generalizes across all of them. So that may be an advantage, but to answer your question, not really.
Yeah, no, I have the same take as Ben on that one. Like, I think the advantage for, like, that tournament will be, like, the guy who's, like, has the best capability of, like, staying cool, calm, and collected, and being able to read off the guy and, like, let's say, taking advantage of the weaknesses of the other guy. Like, being able to read your opponent is a important tool in boxing, in my opinion.
Okay. So how many times do you use sparring now, like, during the week? Because, like, you still have multiple commitments. Like, how many times are you actually able to get out there and, beat someone up?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we don't get to spar that often. So just on Sundays, yeah. Be fun to, like, well, we could head down to Beaver's boxing, but, like, I have a pretty tight schedule, so, like, I can make it on Tuesdays and on Sundays, but for the rest, it's like, I'd be, like, putting other stuff aside to go spar and stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
Same deal for you there, Ben?
Yeah, pretty much. Same deal. I know some guys like to get together. Like, I think, I heard Ivan, you and, Olivier have gotten together a few times.
Yeah, we got together, a few times last year. We did some sparring ourselves, and then, I got the VR goggles. So I do I do all my shadow boxing on the VR goggles, compete with my little kid. So, we have some fun there, so. Turning a game into some training, so
I might have to hop on that. I have some myself.
Yeah, like Alex said, it's hard to get rounds in. So I was like, "Okay, I want to try and get rounds in any way I can." And then saw the VR goggles for Christmas. I was like, "Okay, let's grab those." But Alex, back to you here. How significant would you say diet is for your current regimen?
Diet, like, I'm not the one to, like, eat bad and stuff, and I have a good, good, how do you say it? Not digestive, but metabolism. So, metabolism. So even if I eat, like, anything I want, like, I don't really gain weight, and I find it doesn't really affect my cardio. Like, I don't really, like, I go on the bike, like, the spinning bikes in the gym.
Yeah.
And even if I eat bad for a couple of days, like, I don't really find that affects me that much and stuff.
How much do you weigh right now, Alex?
Around, like, 160. Maybe a little lower than 160. Like, 158, 155.
Do you know, there should be some guys in your weight class, which will be nice. That'll be fun. So, Ben, to you, how significant is diet for your current training?
Well, unlike Alex, I would say I am one to eat bad if I get the opportunity or I get too stressed out. So just managing fiber and calories, but not so much, counting calories is very big. if I let myself go even for a couple of days, I start feeling the impact. So I don't really adhere to like a strict like athletic regimen, like same thing with fitness. It's not super practical for me. Kind of an excuse to say something like that. Yeah, bit of ambiguity there. But yeah, I just try my best, and the better I do, the better I feel, and the better I perform. I certainly could be doing better, but I don't think I'm doing terribly. So, yeah.
How do you diversify your training? Because I don't know about you, like, Uncle Evan and I play a lot of soccer, but like, I don't want to only play soccer. Like, is there other elements that you're adding into the training that really sort of enhances your boxing game that you notice?
I do like a lot of neck exercises, like weirdly like neck exercises and stuff, and like stretching, like shoulders. Like I'll just hang off the bar, like twist my shoulders and stuff. Find it's like in the beginning when I was doing boxing, like just twisting off your like arm, always punching, it gave me like elbow and shoulder problems. But like now I like do stretching more, stretching my legs, every part of the body. And it just like gives me more freedom of motion when I box, and even during my workouts and stuff, like it just takes the pain away from moving. Like it gives you more mobility. I find because of boxing, I put more importance on like mobility, even in my hips. Like I do a lot of like hip exercise, like open up the hips and give me like more mobility to like twist and get power out of my shots and stuff.
Smart.
Yeah.
Right on.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't do much specialized training for boxing specifically. My regimen is usually in a day I'll either do the focus on cardio, which will be just a run with some stretching, or I'll do strength training followed by either high intensity cardio or stability training. And the stability training could be explosive. So I think the explosive stability training, and the stretch, there's always a stretch after. I like to do some kind of loaded stretches too. I don't know if you've ever heard of knee over toes guy, but I do a lot of his stuff.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, I like the idea of kind of strengthening around the joints and kind of just being strong but mobile at the same time, slowly. But that's basically what my training regimen is. How much it specializes to like the boxing area, give or take, but I think some aspects definitely help me, especially the explosiveness and the stability, being light on the feet, stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Well, it looks like you got a squat rack back there. Is that your room?
I do. It's just a half rack.
Oh, with the flag.
The guards flag.
Nice.
What we're training for.
You wake up and you're like, man, I feel like squatting a couple times before you're out the door for the day.
Yeah. It's my room. Got the weights up over there.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Always crushing it, eh?
Yeah. I should use it more, honestly, but it's in my bedroom.
And a pull-up bar. Oh, okay, you're set.
It's not too bad, yeah. It's not too bad. The barbell's just hanging off the wall there, beside the flag. You can see it.
Yeah, that's solid.
It took me a while to get it all up. My dad owns the apartment building, so he was a little bit concerned. I have weights hanging off the wall. But I figured it out, and he's happy with it now. So
It's good reason to be concerned, with good reason.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't understand the grind set, so yeah.
So Alex, just jumping back to you here quickly. So what personal meaning does Clash of the Cartier 2 mean for you, or hold for you, sorry?
I don't really have a personal meaning for it, like just to like support the GGFGs and like Ben said earlier, like have the like bragging rights over the Camerons there, have like that concrete fact of like why we're better than them. But yeah, no personal reason, like just personal development, I guess, like learning, putting new tools in the box, but not like no big explanation for that one.
Yeah, man.
No, that's awesome. Thank you. Ben?
Yeah. For
Any
me,
personal meaning?
It's all about the team for me. It's all about that. I remember last year it was like a big event. Everyone was screaming. It was crazy. My high school friends were there. They could all see, they get to see us being fucking off the wall. So it's just like a really cool event. And even though like I said before, boxing is not my first option for a combat sport, it's still a great sport, and it's a really, really fun and big event. I love it.
And you got the squat rack to prove it. I love
We
it.
got the squat rack.
I love it.
So, Alex, can you share a standout moment from your recent training?
Standout moment. Oof. Just be like, every session is good to, like I said earlier, like surround yourself with people that are motivated and are looking down the same path as you. It's like every practice, it's a good time. Like I don't have an outstanding moment. I just like enjoy going to practice and like chilling with the boys and like grinding it out with the boys and like knowing that I'm not like alone doing this work. Like knowing that like you're part of a big something bigger than yourself. Like you're part of a group that like wants to move forward and like wants to learn things. So it's
amazing.
A good environment to be in.
Yeah, that's great. I agree. Standout, for myself, I'd say a standout moment was when I was doing, sit-ups with Davey Cayenne leading it, and, I was, last to finish my set, and, it felt really, felt like I had a lot of work to do. Big wake-up moment for me. No, it was a great training session.
That's good. Sometimes you need that. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
When I was doing my training too, when I was like, oh my God, I can't run, that was like a kick in the face. Like,
right.
If I can't run, how am I going to last in the ring? I'm going to die.
Yeah, exactly. So. That's exactly how I was feeling. But it's all possible. It's just going to take some time and effort.
Okay, sure. So you fellas are going to have to like break this one down for me. So Alex was saying that there's the Camerons, the GGFGs, and then there's the actual Croatian community as well from Uncle Ivan. Like, what's going on here? So who are you representing, and and who's on your team? Like, how many people do you have on your team? Alex?
Like, Ivan, I don't know if you can tap in with me, like, to answer this properly, but, how many, like, our team, when we practice is, like, GGFGs with the Camerons.
So Nate, we practice all together as one. So like we're training with our potential opponents for like the entire 6 months moving up to that. And then once we realize, okay, let's match up the skill levels to put on a good show, we'll know that roughly in the next few weeks who our opponents are going to be. But, I mean, we represent the Governor General Foot Guards. And then my background's Croatian, so I asked the Croatian community, hey, whoever wants to come on out, let's join us. And then they said the same thing to the Foot Guards. So, I want to make our walk-in entrance something incredible, because last year for me that was the best part. Like it didn't really matter about the fight, the walk-in and with everyone going nuts, that was the coolest.
From what I understand, Steph, is he bringing in the music again? Is he ripping up the audience again, or what?
Yeah, so the plan is to get the band in again, and the band's amazing. Like, you come in, they're playing professionally, and it's like, man, this is so cool. Like, having a proper band there. And the thing is, there's like 50 people in the band. It's not just like 3 people. It's like 50 band members, like, playing your entrance song. So it's
orchestra.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
And how's your family support at home? Are they really excited for you? Are they worried for you? Are they out there cheering you on, showing up to your trainings? Are they going to be there for the actual event? What's going on, Ben?
Funny you should ask. I have not told my family about this event. Oh, no. My great uncle is a professional boxer, and he unfortunately passed away. Yeah, because of boxing.
Sorry to hear.
Yeah, well, it's pretty distant for me. Obviously, still tragic, but it was just like I'm a little bit hesitant to tell my parents about the event, but it's not. This isn't a professional situation. We don't expect to have trauma like that you hear. Sorry, I didn't mean to somber the atmosphere. But I just wanted to be honest. That's but you know, family support from the unit, I'd consider family, like 100%.
That's it, buddy.
Yeah.
Brothers through and through.
Good answer.
No, for sure. Yeah, like I told my parents, but like I told them like not to come that night there. Yeah, my brother's invited, but not the parents and stuff. But yeah, I think they didn't say like black and white to me, but I hope they like support and agree my decisions there.
What would you say the best advice for this bout that you've received is?
Like best advice from like one of the coaches or?
Just overall in general, whether it's tactics, coaches, anything that is going to prepare you for this bout coming up March 2nd.
Oh, well, that will for sure be like Steph. Like from the beginning, I feel he always like saw and picked the potential out of me. Like always, every practice, like not nagging, but like saying like fixing little stuff that I was doing wrong. So like, let's say on the jab, like my steps.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
exactly. Always like giving positive feedback and like building me as a fighter. So I like really appreciate that from his part.
Yeah, he's a great coach.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
awesome. So what about yourself, Ben? Best
Man.
advice you've received?
Steph, man, he gives great advice, and I think the best advice I received was from him, and it was just to breathe and just to really deliberately breathe. Because when you get in there, especially when people are watching you, I've done some kickboxing, kind of similar in-house fighting. When people are watching you and you're getting hit and you're trying to remember your techniques, and you know, it gets really hard to just maintain a solid, consistent, deep breath, which will keep you in the fight. So that's the most solid piece of advice I think I got. Yeah.
And cardio.
Cardio. You gotta remember the cardio.
And cardio.
If you can't
Until
breathe, then
you
the
get
advice
that
is
body
useless.
shot, then you're like, oh.
Oh yeah, the liver shot. I've never been punched in the liver, but I've been kneed in the liver by my coach back in when I was 17. And I remember
It sucks, man. It
Yeah.
sucks. Don't do it. Like I have
yeah.
that bodyguard. I hike it up as high as I can, man,
Yeah, fuck
hoping that I don't get hit there again. But oh man.
Oh, you just lose all control. I remember throwing my boxing gloves on the ground and storming off to the bathroom because I was just in so much pain. I regret doing that, but I mean, fuck, man, it hurt. It hurt. Yeah.
Have you lost your cool sparring yet, Alex? No, eh?
No, like when we spar, like we're all buddies and we'll see each other like in the drill hall and everywhere. So when I spar, it's like respect. I'm not there to like hurt anybody. I'm just there to like learn from them. So it's,
Yeah, this year's been pretty good, Nate. Like, we've been starting with technical sparring just because a lot of guys are new. So, I mean, let's say if guys that were training all last year were going all out on the new guys this year, do you think they want to come back out? Probably not. But, I mean, example, like Steph is a perfect example. He trained all last year. He fought, had an amazing fight, won. And then this year, he's like, you know what? I'm going to coach this year. And look what he's doing with Alex and Ben already. Like, it's incredible. I already given him incredible advice to prepare him for their next fight. So it's awesome. Alex, how would you say this fight would shape your boxing career? Let's say you win, you love it. Like, what are the next steps?
well, win or lose, like I'll always like adapt the boxing lifestyle. It's a good tool to have in the box, and it's like any sport. Like when you do it, you just like forget about all the little stresses in your life. So when you like go sparring or you're at practice with the boys, it's like a stress reliever. It's a good lifestyle to have. It's just a mini escape, and you get to sharpen the blade at the same time. So it's good.
Awesome. Thank you. Ben?
Yeah, for me, it's just going to be, I don't think I'm going to make boxing consistent thing for the rest of my life insofar as competing. But I think it's going to be another great opportunity to train for something. Building up for something that intense definitely like gives you some like insight into how you act under pressure and how you're able to prepare for something. It's just another life experience. So I'm excited for that. And it's just going to go down the legacy in the Guards versus the Camerons. Once we win again, it's going to be great.
Bring the belt back. Bring the belt back to our museum.
Well,
gotta keep it there.
Keep the belt. Yeah. Exactly.
What's you, Uncle Ivan? You see it shaping your career outside of this? You see it progressing?
You know what? Not outside of this. I'm just gonna do it for fun here in the Army. Try and grow our regiment, the Governor General Foot Guards, as big as we can. If it does help a little bit with recruitment, and one fight a year for me is okay. Going almost 40 years old, I don't need to be getting hit in the head too many times.
Is there so Mike Island, Mr. Ireland, and Mr. Sikorsky are both your coaches, your main coaches, are they?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Greg. We also have Greg. So we have 3 main coaches.
Is there a training style or, plan that really stands out of the 3 coaches? Like, is there a parts or an elements of their training style that you really take to, that you really admire almost about them as a coach? Ben?
Yeah, definitely. Steph Sikorsky's freaking ability to know what needs to be improved and articulate it, I think is huge. But what I actually admire about Greg, in the sense that he's able to make those assessments as well, but he's also able to make it kind of shit simple, so that when I'm fucking like after like 2 rounds and I'm pretty stupid, like pretty fucking out there, he can say something that I'm actually gonna internalize and apply. Yeah, because I think one of the big things is if it's too wordy in the moment, I'm not going to be able to process it properly. But Greg, yeah, exactly. I mean, frick, my cardio is not the greatest, so my head's in somewhere else in outer space, when I'm mid round. So having Greg there just to say like, hey, do this, keep your hands here, in and out, stay calm, just brush them off, just simplifying the technique so that I can actually apply it is something that I really admire about his training, coaching style rather.
Nice.
Yeah, like I'll tap into what Ben said, but they don't use like 1,000 different paths to like get to the point. Like they'll just say it how it is to you, and they'll say it like in a simple ways for you to understand, which is like good because you learn easy from like those points and stuff. They're not like too complicated to put in practice. Like they keep it simple, and they give you like the right tools for you to use. So like if you're not like tall, let's say like me and Ben, we're not the tallest of guys, so they'll not give us like tactics on like how to use length and stuff. They'll, like make us like we didn't like dive in too deep into tactics, but they'll give you pointers that like cater to your size and like into your shape and stuff.
Right. Yeah. The concepts are like very thoughtful and very intricate, but at the same time articulated very like simply. And I love that.
Comes from like a good sense of experience, and like an exposure to the field sort of deal, eh?
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, definitely synthesizing all the fights they've seen. I'm sure they've seen thousands and thousands of fights. So,
is there an element of the training plan, so a specific type of workout, or a type of training routine, or a specific type of drill that they've sort of really drilled into you, and that's sort of stuck?
Fundamentals.
What's that?
Drilling in the fundamentals to make sure that we're prepared, so we don't look like, if you looked at us like when we first started boxing, you would be like, oh my God, this is going to be embarrassing. How am I going to have these guys ready in 6 months? So for us, it was the basic fundamentals of defense and the 1-2, master that and you're going to be okay. So yeah, they mastered that, and then we start adding the defensive moves. So we get in there, and then when we look at the coaches for myself, Mike Island, so he mastered the fundamentals for me, and then working with Steph, being a southpaw, he added adjustments to my style, like making sure I cut off the jab hand to my opponent, and then always step outside, obviously, and then it's really easy to hit him with my left on the two. So that really helped. And then when you come to Coach Greg, the guy has so much experience where, as you guys all know, when Greg says something, clicks right away, because he's going to tell you some tactics against your opponent, and you're like, oh my God, how did I not see that? It's so easy. So, we have 3 incredible coaches that, spread, like, they're just so smart that it's incredible. So we're just lucky to have them. Nate?
Is there a drill that's really stuck with you, or a specific part of the training, an element of the training that's really, like you maybe want to practice it, or you actually really enjoy it because it gives you the right sort of rush as you're training?
Well, I'd say there's no the only rush is I get is from sparring and stuff, and even when you when you shadow box, and it just comes naturally and easy because you practice it so much times. It's it's a good feeling. But they always, at every practice, they'll always make us practice fundamental, the jab cross, and throwing the jab and the cross in the pocket, and then moving forward with it, how to place your feet properly, how to twist the feet, how to twist the arm, and how to throw it properly. We always practice is constant, so we practice the same stuff repetitively, and we just fine tune it. And I think that's an important aspect of the game, because little errors in boxing can make you pay the price.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Ben?
Agreed. For me, I would say the biggest difference, or I guess the thing that I think Coach Mike has really emphasized when he's putting us through drills that I like to take away when I'm kind of shadowboxing or doing visualization on my own time, is the way he kind of references, he kind of lets you do some visualization as you're training. So, for instance, you'll be shadowboxing, you'll be like, the round's ending. It's time for volume, It's time to win the round. Oh, round's over. You have 10 seconds to yourself, and then you have I'm going to start barking orders at you in 10 more seconds, right? So that really, lets me get in the habit of breathing, properly, and, having my expectation set. So that way, when I'm sparring and actually doing the thing, I'm not, out of it. I'm kind of expecting what's going to happen. So, and that really, extends to the way I shadowbox myself. I try to visualize an actual person in front of me. Maybe the round's ending, or maybe it's just starting. Maybe I need to be on the defensive. Just bringing in that extra level of visualization, the way Coach Mike does, is huge.
Oh, checks out. So I noticed when, I'll be out there doing training for footy, for soccer. Obviously I'm not a boxer myself, but I prefer to kick some balls, man. But when I'm out there, and I always find that, sometimes I'll either put on a podcast, or there'll be a specific song that it's either the rhythm to it, or maybe there's my mind's focused on something else, and I find that there's a rhythm that I really smooth into sometimes, and time just disappears for a little bit, and I'm just focused on the rhythm of the ball and the way that my feet move. Is there a song or a sort of audio, or maybe even your own breathing or something that really dials you in and really makes that time disappear for the duration of that workout for you? Ivan?
For me, honestly, when I'm at the gym, I'm only gonna skip to a song. That's how I skip, is the length of a song, because I hate counting or having a timer. I don't want to think about anything and just make it go easy. So I just skip, and I'm just, chilling, right? So that's how it makes it easier for myself. And then, same thing goes with reps. I don't count reps. I just try to go lightweight for the boxing. And then put on a song. Oh, it's 2 minutes long. Okay, try to do this for 2 minutes. If I can't, then I try to adjust. But
Is it like metal or is it like classical music, Ivan?
honestly, I like a variety. I like a variety of everything. Like, I can respect talent, so I don't really have one specific. But I do listen to a little bit of everything.
Yeah, right. Mr. Farley.
Well, yeah, I don't usually listen to, well, other sports I listen to music. Like when I go to the gym, obviously I listen to music, and cardio, I'll do like 15, 20 minutes on the bike. But yeah, like just, sometimes it's the coach's voice. Like you head back to the corner and like you just hear like, okay, breathe. And then you're like, oh yeah, I need to breathe. Like you just like forget sometimes, and like just that little voice saying to breathe it just like brings you back on your feet. So.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool.
Yeah. For me, song wise, I think when I'm training, like rather when I'm sparring or I'm fighting, just my breath, just trying to get my breath back. But when I'm training, if it's, skipping or maybe hitting the bag or something not super heavy, really anything works out. Anything with a beat, like, House or like fucking Drake or whatever the fuck. Like, don't really care. If it gets really hard though, we might have to put on the Slipknot or the Doom soundtrack. You've ever heard that? It's pretty crazy.
Oh,
Doom
nice.
soundtrack? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, the Doom soundtrack.
That's it, yeah.
It goes hard, man.
100%.
So,
I hate cardio too, just saying. I'm feeling on that one, Ken. Along with cardio, I find core is a very hard one to work on and really develop. Do you allot time at the end of every workout? Do you miss it? Once, twice a week sort of thing. How often are you hitting it, Mr. Farley?
Well, I try to like not to skip it too often, but I'll usually do it at my house, like while I'm stretching and stuff. I'll do like a plank, or like I have that rolling machine there, like it's like a bar and then the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'll hit that sometime. Cool. And on the pull-up bar too, like I'll just like do some knee raises and stuff. And,
nice.
Yeah.
Mr. Mamini?
Yeah. I usually don't miss it. I think I've been, I'd say, a little bit slacking in general, which is why I think my core could be better. But no, I usually don't miss it when I go to the gym. I usually do it after a session, or I do cardio, so one or the other. Usually like one day and then the other day. I used to miss it though last year, and then on CG, I met my girlfriend. She started to destroy me on some of these ab workouts. And I just was like, fuck that, man. Like, I'm clearly, like, out of my mind here, like.
So that was your stand-up moment in training, then? Your girlfriend featured cardio. You're like, whoa.
I think so. I think so, man. Like, it was pretty demoralizing. I was, like, supposed to be all fit and stuff, and here she is, all freaking 5 foot of her, just absolutely fucking demolishing me, so.
She's a beauty.
So, yeah, after that, I stopped awesome. Skipping it. Yeah.
So,
I love it.
So just as we're, just as we're closing out here, guys, we have a few questions left here. Alex, starting off with you, any message for your fans for the big day?
No message specific there, but like, thanks for the support and thanks for coming out there. Hope you enjoy the show.
Yeah, for me, message, guys, like, thanks for the support. It's going to be a great night. It's going to be a great fucking event. Up the guards. We're going to make it happen. We're going to win.
Nate, anything to say for yourself? Last few.
Gentlemen, I wish you all the best of luck in not just the actual competition, but the pursuit of the competition. And I think there's a lot of value that you can find in the actual pursuit of a goal like that. And I hope you guys can find many different reasons to enjoy it. It's been a heck of a pleasure meeting you fellas, even though it's all virtually. I'd shake your hands if I could, but at the same time, best of luck moving forward, and I wish yous a happy rest of the week, because Monday's finally over.
Cheers.
And thanks for joining us, gentlemen. So this is our first official one. We tried one last week, but there was a little error. But it's okay. So you guys are going to be episode 1.
Beauty. What channel you on? Like, what's the name of the channel there?
I'll send it over to Uncle Ivan.
Okay, Beauty.
I'll have it up on my YouTube channel, and I do have a podcast as well. So I have a YouTube channel and a podcast. I'll have it up on the YouTube channel and the podcast. The podcast, it's actually going to be episode 7, but this is going to be restarting sort of like a second season almost.
Sure.
Right? So,
Perfect.
it's going to be This Raw Life is what the name of the podcast is. And I'll send Uncle Ivan all the information to take a listen in. Alrighty.
Perfect.
Thank you, Nathan. It was a pleasure.
All right, fellas.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Thank you,
Thanks.
gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Ivan.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Hope you learned a thing or two. Maybe we were inspired to take a swing at boxing yourself, because that sure is not word. Coming up next in our Clash of Cartier series, we'll be interviewing a couple more competitors to see what their thoughts are in preparation for the event. Stay tuned, and we'll see you soon. Metaphorically. Maybe. Cheers.